Hi, I'm Terri Herning, co-founder of Real Food Mom, and I wanted to share my favorite hacks for staying healthy while traveling, especially while traveling by plane. If you've been a follower of Real Food Mom for the last couple of years, you have noticed that I do tend to travel, especially in the last couple of years, quite frequently. So staying healthy on the road has been something that's been really important for me. So I wanted to share with you. I have another upcoming trip, but this time I'm traveling internationally. So I'm going to be on the plane for a much longer period of time than I normally am. And I wanted to cover what are the products that are in my personal toolkit. Now, this is a reminder, I am not a licensed medical professional, and nothing that I'm presenting here should be taken as medical advice. You always want to work with your licensed physician, naturopath, homeopath, practitioner on what is appropriate and safe for your individual health needs. Okay, so with that said, I am going to show you kind of what I travel with all the time. So I have this great little case, which is much smaller than what I normally bring, but I'm only going to do a carry-on this trip. So a carry-on and a backpack, so 2 carry-ons really. So I'm going to share what I bring almost every time, and then what I'm doing differently because it is winter time. Okay, so I love adrenal support. So I'm really trying to be conscious of space. So that's why I've repackaged some of these things. I do have the bottle of what I love, which is Adrenal Stability from Pure Essence Labs. That is my favorite adrenal support. I also love Biotonic by Biocidin, by Biobotanical Research, who is the makers of Biocidin. Now, if you're in the autism community and you've been to a conference, you are probably pretty familiar with these New Beginnings pill containers. If you're ever at a conference where New Beginnings is there, get these because they are gold. Whether you need to have some supplements with you in your purse, like digestive enzymes for our kiddos or for ourselves, these are phenomenal. So you're going to see a bunch of these come out because rather than trying to pack everything in baggies or bring all of the original bottles, I switched to these little containers. So I have some HCL support. I have some ANI, which is Allergy and Immune Support by New Beginnings. I'm going to show that one. This is great no matter what you've got going on in terms of histamine response. For me, it is the best thing out there. It has quercetin, stinging nettles, bromelain, a little bit of N-acetylcysteine, so it dries things up. So if you have a seasonal allergy attack, or even if you do have a cold and you have a runny nose, it can be phenomenal. Okay, so this has a couple of different things. So this actually has 4 supplements in it. So, I just write with a Sharpie and then it can tell me what it is. So this one down in the corner is all flu. I trained with the doctor last year and she has her own line of homeopathics. Again, I am not a licensed homeopath, and so this is not anything that is being recommended. This is similar to like an Oscillo. So the way I take it is throughout the winter months to keep myself healthy, and then if I do get the flu or one of my family members get the flu, which I think I had the flu a couple of weeks ago, got over it in literally 2 days. So, a piece of all of this is also our mindset going into it, and really just kind of staying calm, supporting your body nutritionally, reducing your sugars, bringing in, great things like bone broths and other healthy foods, depending upon your individual needs. I also use the sauna. I love the sauna space. I use the Ion Cleanse by AMD. If I didn't have those, I'd throw myself in a nice warm bath, maybe throw some Epsom salts. Again, what supports your body, and I literally kicked it in 2 days. So we just have to remain calm, even though there's a lot of hype going on right now about the flu and coronavirus, and I am going to tell you what I've kind of beefed up in my protocol as a result. But like I mentioned, Dr. Teresa Dale, I did her training almost a year ago. And she has a product that is a liver support. So that's what's in this piece, as well as my zinc. Zinc is great for the immune system, and I find that I do need some zinc. But again, I've worked with my own personal physician to know what my dosing level is, because your minerals do need to be, monitored. You want to make sure that you're not overdoing it on supplements, because we can do that. I know there's some really fabulous research out there about our vitamin D status in winter and our rates of the flu. So I love this vitamin D3 plus K2 from New Beginnings. So that is what is right down here. So, I mean, you see I have 4 supplements in here. I have 3 supplements in here. I have my B complex, because that's really important for me as a woman, lots of stress, methylation support. I really love my Bs. They give me energy, and they make me feel really good. So I use the B complex from New Beginnings, of course. And I also, because it's winter and because of all of the hullabaloo and increased possible exposure to viruses, I have some, it's monolaurin. And so monolaurin is a natural antiviral that I do like to travel with, just in case you pick up something. I typically sit in what is considered, from what I've read, the worst seat in terms of germ exposure. And I am a reformed germaphobe. I used to be Miss Lysol, and I have come around 180 degrees to understand that our bodies are meant to handle these bugs. And so there's a way to bolster your system to where you're not getting sick all the time. And that's what I have managed to figure out with the help of some great practitioners and physicians, and a lot of research on my own in terms of how to support myself. And so as a result, I sit on the aisle, which is supposed to be the germiest part of the plane, because I stay very hydrated. I drink a lot of water every single day. And as such, I need to get up and go to the bathroom. And I don't like to crawl over people or do any of that nonsense. So I sit on the aisle. So I haven't noticed an increased sickness in the last 2 years when my travel has been at all-time high. So I guess I'm doing something right. Now, I'm going to show you this little bottle because it's a cute little bottle. It's Mag SRT, and it's a great product, but I've actually repurposed the bottle. Magnesium is great. I found that I was magnesium deficient, and many of us can be. It's estimated that 90% of the population is magnesium deficient. And so what uses up magnesium? Stress depletes magnesium. Eating sugar depletes magnesium. And we need magnesium for over 300 enzymatic processes in the body. It's great as a nice thing at nighttime to help you sleep. So I love magnesium. This is probably actually the chelated magnesium from New Beginnings, but I just use it in the little bottle. Okay, so I also travel with biocidin. Biocidin, I can't say enough about biobotanical research because their products are just fabulous. Now, I'm bringing the capsules because I have used the liquid for a number of years. And so I know that I can do a pretty high dosage of the liquid without any negatives. So biocidin is a botanical-based, kind of a generalized botanical support for the body. So if you're exposed to something in your food supply when you're traveling and you get an upset tummy, if you feel like you are coming down with something, biocidin is one of the first things that I gravitate towards. They have a throat spray and if I get any throat related stuff, I'm reaching for the biocidin throat spray. So I absolutely love, love, love their products, especially when I'm traveling, in case I drink some funky water or eat some food that has bacteria in it that I'm not used to, and that causes an issue for me. And then, because I don't know if it's the Girl Scout leader in me or what, but I just love to be prepared. So I always have digestive enzymes because, again, we're probably eating stuff that we are likely not used to eating, especially if we're going to a different country. I have a couple of different types of enzymes. Again, I really do like the Trace Minerals brand. So this is Stress X, so it's magnesium. I love their power packs too with vitamin C. It does have a little folic acid, so if people can't tolerate folic acid, there are some other brands out there like, I want to say it's Ultima is a great one. So back to the homeopathy. I love homeopathics. I'm not a licensed homeopath once again, so this is not a recommendation. This is what I travel with. I love the leg cramp relief. It's great for minerals. Arnica, I travel with the cream. I travel with the capsules or the pellets. It's great if I have any sort of aches, sprains, strains. I twist my ankle while we're hiking. I fall down and get a bruise. I love Arnica. It can also help with just generalized pain. We went through all the enzymes. I love to have stuff at my disposal. We just have to be able to pack smart. I'm also bringing a little bag of colostrum, IgG. So this is from a company down the hill from me in Sedona. It is amazing, and it's a really great immune support. It is based in dairy, so for those that can't tolerate any dairy, there are other IgG powders out there that are non-dairy. I can handle this one just fine. It's colostrum LD, and so that is what I put in there. And then I also just travel with some herbals. I worked with my chiropractor on an herbal formulation that I really love and works really well for me. And then I do always travel with essential oils, and I want to talk a little bit about that. We're launching an essential oil training course very soon, and one of the things is I love essential oils. I feel like they really do help keep me healthy. They help me around the house in terms of reducing toxic chemicals by bringing in these wonderful, powerful botanical compounds. But again, just like everything else, I also am not going to force that on other people. And if I am in a close quarters like an airplane, I am not just going to be pulling out my bottle of hand sanitizer and indiscriminately spraying people. I just don't do that. I do use them personally. So yes, if I have, just like anyone would pull out their normal hand sanitizer, I do a little bit of, a couple sprays. I'm rubbing because it's more about that friction. Yes, the oils are great and they help, but again, with the friction can kill off germs as well. But I'm not going to sit there in my seat and be spraying everybody. But I do have my essential oils, and I do know what oils I use for certain things, and I will pull them out and very discreetly use them in a way that doesn't seep out into other people to where if they have a reaction, then that's on me. So again, if we're going to be using these natural holistic things, it's great, but you just always want to be aware of not everybody can tolerate even the natural stuff, just like you wouldn't go spraying perfume all over the place, typically speaking. So that is what I travel with in my bag. So this is going to be in my luggage that's in the overhead compartment. I want to also give you some of my tips on, I like to have my backpack down at my seat. So this is going to be in my backpack that I always have access to. Now, if something is going on, which it's not, and I needed to have a supplement with me, I would just make sure that it was in this little pouch so that if the seatbelt sign is on and I can't get up, then I have what I need. So don't be afraid to have multiple pouches of different things in different pieces of luggage. You want to have what you need when you need it. Okay, so if you are sound sensitive like I am, and if you are a light sleeper like I am, this is like the best thing since sliced bread. Now, I'm not going to totally unwind it, but I'm going to show you what it is. It's the Cozy Phone, and it has a plug. You can plug it into your phone. I have a white noise app, and so I put in earplugs. I put my Cozy Phone. This is a headband that's fleece. It's super soft, super comfortable to sleep in. It has these really soft speakers, and these are phenomenal for travel, not just on a plane, but also travel, sleeping in a hotel room where your neighbors want to party until 3 a.m. and you have to work the next morning. These are great because you can plug right into your white noise or whatever, a meditation app or whatever music, anything, and you can have your own sound drowned out everything, especially when you have earphones in, earplugs in. So because normally I'm not, I don't freak out about all of the germ stuff. I take, what I think is very conservative precautions. I bolster my immune system. I try and avoid sugar as much as possible. I have a good diet. I do a lot of detox. I don't stress. I do mindset work. I do meditation. But because I am going to be on a plane for an extended period of time, I did go out and buy a couple of masks. Now, this one is the Meta masks, and it is an N95 rated mask. Okay, so I have that one. But then as I dug down, and this is great because we live in a mountain town, they do burns every year. We have forest fires quite frequently, more frequently than we would like. So to filter out the particulates from poor air quality, that's where I think the N95 really shines. And we've been wanting to get these anyways. I just had waited. And then unfortunately we have this whole outbreak thing. So I snapped them up, and then now they're like $100 per mask. So I did not pay $100 per mask. So then I did some research, and then from what I had learned, that there was a different type of mask that actually filters out the microscopic viruses, bacteria, things like that, because I had heard mixed results, that some people say the N95 mask does that. Other people say it doesn't. Certainly any coverage and filtration is probably going to be helpful versus no filtration. But then I got the Be Healthy mask. And so this one is supposed to really filter those microbes. So I plan to plug in my earplugs and my white noise. I have a tapping protocol for jet lag. I have a homeopathic for jet lag. I have my mask. I am going to be set, and hopefully will be sleeping soundly as I fly over the ocean. I always do bring, I love Super Salve. That's the name of the company too. Look them up. They're great. Their mother owns an herbal shop in town, and then they run a business doing all natural personal care products out of New Mexico. They are fabulous. I always have a good chapstick. Like I said, I stay hydrated, and I just relax. You know, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. We can be prepared. We can be empowered. We cannot be driven by fear. We can do whatever we can, get good sleep, don't stress, have a good diet, maybe bring in some additional supplements this time of year would be prudent. Again, working with your medical doctor and practitioners, you can get through the cold and flu season, which is not really a season, right? We can get through this time of year very comfortably. It's about having a healthy, robust immune system. Check in with your doctor and find out what might be appropriate for you. This is what works for me really well. Oh, and my gut boosting foods and drinks, kombucha, traditionally fermented sauerkraut, all of those things are part of my life. And if any of this resonates with you and you run it by your practitioner and it, something you want to bring in, my big takeaway is see how you feel. Gauge how sick you normally get each year. And see when you make these changes, does it impact whether you get sick more or less frequently? How do you feel every day? Those are the pieces of the puzzle, especially with diet. When I eat certain foods, this is how I feel. Well, great. That's a great lesson to move forward. So I hope everyone is staying healthy and happy. Those are my favorite tips for staying healthy when I travel. I'd love to hear your suggestions and what you bring as your must-haves when you travel. Thanks, and everybody be well.